20 minutes past the hour. Next, you'll meet one of the country's young, up-and-coming columnists and learn why. 21 minutes past the hour. Born on this date, Cole Porter and Robert McNamara.
Pardon my nostalgia, but remember how much fun it used to be to head down to the candy store to do battle with a pinball machine to risk a tilt for the chance of winning a free game? Well, there are pinball machines around nowadays, but the video game is the game of young America. And so many parents are fearful and fretful that the games are costing their children too much money and too much time that should be devoted to homework or reading. 11-year-old Rawson Stovall of Abilene, Texas, doesn't waste his time playing with video games. Instead, he writes a newspaper column about them. It's called The Vid Kid. It's almost a year old, and now it's in 15 newspapers around the country. And how about that? You must be very excited about that.
Yes.
Are you a tough reviewer, or do you go kind of easy on these games, Rawson?
Well, I only review the home games right now, and I review only games that are good. I don't go on the bad ones. In other words, I'm telling the consumer or my reader about the good games and not the bad.
Are you paid for this work, or do you do it just as a hobby?
Well, I do get paid for my newspaper column. I don't know really how much right now because my syndicate, Universal Press Syndicate, who you may know syndicate Dear Abby and Ziggy, they syndicate the newspaper, my column and everything to the newspapers.
Whose idea was this?
Well, it was, I think, really a guy named Mr. Williams at the Abilene Video Library, a small local video specialty retail shop in Abilene. He said, well, since you know so much about the video games, why don't you write a little article? And a little later, I thought and said to my mom, well, an article wouldn't hold it all. Mom said, well, how about a column? So Mr. Williams kind of put the idea into my mom's head, and it was kind of, well, like that.
How many columns do you write a week?
My column is a weekly one.
It is a weekly?
Right, and I usually write maybe 2 a week or something. I try to keep ahead like 3 or 4 weeks, so if I get sick or something, then I don't really have to worry about it.
Rawson, I have to ask you one of the hard questions. When do you do your homework if you're all busy with this enterprise of yours?
Well, I usually, right now it's the summertime, and I don't have any homework, but when I do have the homework, I usually do it like 6 minutes before it's due.
Oh, come on, you're kidding me. 6 minutes?
Right, well, I usually, when the homework is assigned, I'll usually kind of think it over, look it over, make sure it's pretty easy and everything, and then I'll go do what we're supposed to do in class, and I'll work on it little bits every now and then during school, but usually about 6 minutes before it's due.
Do you think that video games are good for kids? You know, you hear all these adults saying they're sort of losing their minds by spending too much time at the TV console.
Well, video games are a form of entertainment now that there's a lot of unways of safety, or that wasn't a way to say it, but it's not safe to really go outside and explore, go in other neighborhoods anymore. Video games let the children do what their imagination feels like.
Okay, thank you. You don't want to do anchor work or television news work, do you?
No.
Good. I'm very glad, because you're very good. It was nice talking with you. Thanks for coming by.